Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder why some people seem to just hit it off with everyone, while others struggle to connect, even when they want to? Well, this new study dives deep into the hidden motivations behind our social preferences, and what makes us want to be around certain people. This research asks a really big question: how do our stable personality traits, our feelings in the moment, and what we think about the people we're with all work together to shape whether we enjoy our social interactions? Think about it, we all have big personality traits like being naturally outgoing or shy. But then, on any given day, we might feel more or less like talking to people. And on top of that, how we perceive the other person, whether they seem friendly and open or distant and avoidant, totally changes the game. This study tried to untangle all of that. At its heart, this research is about approach and avoidance motives. It's a fancy way of saying our tendency to move towards good stuff, like connection and positive experiences, and our tendency to move away from bad stuff, like rejection or discomfort. The researchers wanted to see how these tendencies, at the personality level, the momentary feeling level, and the perception level, all combine to predict if we actually like interacting with someone. So how did they figure this out? They used a cool method called ecological momentary assessment, or EMA. Basically, for 2 weeks, 136 people got pings on their phones at random times throughout the day. If they had a social interaction since the last ping, they'd answer a quick survey about it. They'd report things like how motivated they felt to be there, how interested they were in the other person, how much they wanted to avoid the interaction, and crucially, how they thought their interaction partner felt. They did this almost 4,000 times across all participants. This is like getting a super detailed moment-by-moment diary of social life. And what did they find? The big takeaway is that no single factor, not just your personality or just how you feel today, is enough. It's the combination, the blend of your stable traits, your current feelings, and how you interpret your partner's motivations that best predicts whether you enjoy an interaction. Let's break that down. If you're generally someone who likes to approach new things and people, that's great. And if you feel motivated and interested in an interaction in the moment, even better. Plus, if you perceive your partner as engaged and open, that also makes you more likely to enjoy it. Basically, approach. Approach leads to liking it. But what about avoidance? The study found that while your trait tendency to avoid might not directly predict if you like an interaction, it wasn't a significant predictor on its own. Your momentary state of avoidance, feeling like you'd rather be anywhere else and perceiving your partner as avoidant, definitely make you like an interaction less. So, it's less about being a generally avoidant person and more about feeling avoidant in that specific moment or seeing avoidance in the other person. And just to add a little more flavor, feeling positive emotions during an interaction and finding your partner physically attractive also, unsurprisingly, made people like the interaction more. Now, here is where it gets really interesting for understanding why some people struggle more with social stuff. The researchers also looked at something called interpersonal functioning. This is basically how good you are at starting, maintaining, and fixing your relationships. If you have deficits in this area, meaning you struggle with relationships, the study found that it consistently led to lower enjoyment of social interactions. What's important here is that while these deficits didn't wildly change the overall patterns, they did seem to make things a bit worse. For instance, if you have deficits in interpersonal functioning, seeing your partner as approach-oriented, meaning friendly and engaged, didn't boost your interaction enjoyment as much as it would for someone who is great at relationships. It's like their ability to benefit from positive social cues is dampened. And in a more complex interaction, they found that if someone was high in avoidance temperament, meaning they tend to avoid things, and also had deficits in interpersonal functioning, they experienced interactions even more negatively, especially during moments when they were feeling state avoidance, that urge to escape. However, and this is a key point, even with these interactions, the core effect remained: avoidance states and perceptions consistently led to less enjoyment for pretty much everyone. They also looked at how things carried over from one interaction to the next. Did enjoying one chat make you more likely to enjoy the next? Well, sort of, but not for long. They found that positive feelings from one interaction could boost your approach motivation for the next one, but only if those interactions happened pretty close together in time. If there was a big gap, that boost just faded away. It's like our social batteries need to be close to recharge and give us that motivation. Now, no study is perfect, and it's good scientific practice to point out the limitations. The researchers acknowledged that a lot of this was based on self-reports, people saying how they felt. In the future, it would be great to add in more objective measures, like maybe tracking actual behavior or getting feedback from both people in the interaction at the same time. Also, while they found some really interesting interactions, interpreting super complex like 3- or 4-way interactions can be tricky with the sample size they had. We need more studies to confirm those really intricate findings, and the participants were mostly young adults. So we can't be totally sure if this applies to older folks or people with different life experiences without more research. They also used just one question to measure how much someone liked an interaction. While it's a good start, using multiple questions could give an even clearer picture. So, what's the big takeaway here? This study gives us a really nuanced view of why we like or dislike interacting with people. It's a dance between who we are at our core, how we're feeling in the moment, and how we read the other person. For those who struggle with social connections, it highlights that deficits in interpersonal functioning are consistently linked to less enjoyment, and that positive social cues might not always land as effectively. This research suggests that understanding social success isn't just about changing personality traits, but also about becoming more flexible with our motivations and learning to better interpret the social world around us. It opens the door for interventions that could help people become more aware of their immediate motivations and perceptions, and perhaps develop more effective ways to navigate their social lives. It's a reminder that our social experiences are incredibly dynamic and personal. The next time you're in a social situation, think about your approaching and avoidance tendencies, how you're feeling, and how you perceive the other person. It might just explain a lot about whether you walk away feeling energized or drained. What do you think about these findings? Do they resonate with your own experiences? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe for more explorations into the fascinating world of psychology. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next MindLab episode.